진정한 사랑의 기술은 기술을 부리지 않는 것이다. 진정한 대화의 기술은 기술을 부리지 않는 것이다. Genuine love and meaningful conversation are not about showcasing one's ability or techniques. True love and communication come from a place of sincerity, empathy, and understanding, rather than from trying to impress or manipulate the other person. Instead of relying on tactics or tricks, it is important to approach these interactions with authenticity and a willingness to listen and connect on a deeper level. The message here is that the most powerful and effective expression of love and communication are those that come naturally and without any artificial or contribute techniques. Sharp criticism may provide a brief sense of relief, but it can leave a long-lasting wounds. On the other hand, genuine praise and encouragement always lead to toward comfort and love. When someone criticizes harshly, it can be very painful and may leave a lasting impact on our emotional well-being. Even if the criticism is intended to be constructive, it can still feel like a personal attack, and it may cause us to doubt ourselves or our abilities. This can lead to a feeling of anger, resentment, or self-doubt, and may create a rift in the relationship between the criticizer and the criticized. In contrast, when you receive genuine praise and encouragement, it can have a deeply positive impact on our mood and self-esteem. It can make us feel valued, appreciated, and loved, and can reinforce our sense of self-worth. Moreover, when you receive a praise and encouragement, it can motivate us to work harder and achieve more, as we feel that our efforts are being recognized and appreciated. Overall, the way in which we communicate with others can have a profound effect on their emotional well-being and on the quality of our relationships. While criticism may sometimes be necessary, it is important to be mindful of other impact that our words and actions can have on others, and to strive to communicate in a way that is kind, empathetic, and supportive. By doing so, we can create a more positive and uplifting environment for ourselves and for those around us. 날카로운 비판은 잠깐의 후련함과 긴 상처를 남긴다. 반대로 진정한 칭찬과 격려는 언제나 우리를 위로와 사랑으로 이끈다. 사람은 누구나 상대방에게 충분히 이해받고 있다고 느끼면 자신도 모르게 충성 모드로 돌아서게 되어 있다. When people feel that they are understood well enough by others, they tend to be unconsciously shifted into a mode of loyalty. Humans have a strong desire to feel understood and appreciated by those around them. When someone feels that they are truly being heard and that their thoughts and feelings and opinions are being respected and valued, they often experience a sense of emotional validation and connection with the other person. In many cases, this sense of validation can trigger a natural instinct towards loyalty. When someone feels that they have found a person or a group who truly gets them and supports them, they may unconsciously begin to prioritize the relationship of others. These may become more willing to make sacrifices for the person, more forgiving of their flaws, and more committed to the success of the relationship. This can be a positive thing in many ways, as it can foster deep and meaningful connections between people. However, it can also have negative consequences if the loyalty becomes too strong or is based on the faulty understanding of other person's true character. In such cases, people may continue to be loyal even when the other person's behavior is harmful or unhealthy, or when the relationship is no longer serving their needs. Overall, the connection between the feeling understood and the experiencing loyalty is a complex one that is influenced by factors including past experiences and cultural norms and the personal values. When it comes to powerful force for building strong relationships, it is important for individuals to remain aware of their own needs and boundaries. Oh my god, are you okay? 제파, 괜찮아? And to ensure that their loyalty is based on a clear-eyed understanding of the other person's strengths and weaknesses. 가까운 사이일수록 때로는 불안하고 충동적인 모습을 보일 수도 있다. 하지만 평소 서로 공감과 이해를 나누고 작은 일에도 기꺼이 칭찬해주고 받아왔다면 이례적인 감정 조절에 실패했다고 해서 좌절하는 일은 일어나지 않는다. 그러기엔 서로에 대한 신뢰가 더 크기 때문이다. Even in close relationships, there may be times when individuals exhibit anxious or impulsive behavior. However, if they have constantly shared empathy and understanding, and readily give and receive and praise for small things, then a temporary failure to regulate emotions will not lead to disappointment. This is because there is a greater level of trust between them. In close relationships such as with friends, family, or romantic partners, it is common for individuals to sometimes exhibit the behaviors that is anxious or impulsive. For example, someone may become overly worried and reactive in response to the perceived threat or challenge, or they may act impulsively without considering the consequences of their actions. This can help to prevent minor conflicts from escalating into major problems, and it can help the relationship to weather difficult times with greater ease. 감정 조절에 영향을 미치는 것 중 하나가 자존감이다. 자존감이란 한마디로 말하면 스스로 생각하는 자기 이미지 내지는 자기 정체성이라고 할 수 있다. 신체로 말한다면 뼈대에 해당한다. 뼈에 충격을 받으면 직립이 불가능하듯이 자존감에 상처를 입으면 정신적 직립이 불가능하다. One of the factors that influences emotional regulation is self-esteem. Self-esteem can be described as one's self-image or identity. In other words, how one thinks of oneself. In physical terms, it can be compared to the skeletal structure of the body. Just as the body cannot stand upright if the skeletal structure is damaged, it is difficult to maintain mental balance and stability if one's self-esteem is wounded. One of the factors that influence emotion regulation is self-esteem. Just as shock to the bones can render one unable to stand upright, and a blow to one's self-esteem can make it difficult to maintain psychological balance. Therefore, it is important to cultivate a healthy sense of self-esteem, which can act as a buffer against the challenges of life and help us manage our emotions more effectively. Beautiful. 마음의 감각인 감정에 자극이 주어지면 그것은 우리의 신체뿐만 아니라 생각과 행동에 영향을 미친다. 이 감정을 어떻게 조절하느냐에 따라 우리의 행동이 결정되는 것이다. When our emotions are stimulated, which are the sensory experiences of our mind, they can have an impact not only on our body but also on our thoughts and actions. How we regulate these emotions can determine our behavior. When you experience an emotional arousal, it can affect not only our physical sensations, but also our thoughts and behavior. This is because our emotions are a form of a mental sensation and they are closely tied to our thoughts and actions. How we manage our emotions can have a significant impact on our behavior and the decisions we make. 세상은 우리의 스스로에 대한 판단을 그대로 받아들이는 경향이 있다. 그런 의미에서 자신에 대해 누군가에게 말해야 한다면 가능한 한 좋게 표현하는 것이 중요하다. 자만하지 않기 위해 자기를 비하할 필요는 절대 없기 때문이다. The world has a tendency to accept our own self-judgment as truth. In that sense, it is important to express oneself in the most positive way possible when speaking to someone else about oneself. There is never a need to denigrate oneself. 비하, denigrate. D-E-N-I-G-R-A-T, denigrate. There is never need to denigrate oneself in order to avoid being arrogant. People often have a tendency to believe their own self-judgment, which can sometimes lead to inaccurate or negative self-perceptions. Therefore, when it comes to expressing oneself to others, it is important to choose words and reflect on a positive self-image. This does not mean that one should be boastful or arrogant, but rather than one should avoid self-deprecating remarks that can reinforce negative beliefs about oneself. By focusing on one's strengths and accomplishments when speaking to others, one can cultivate a more positive self-image and create a more authentic and confident persona. This can lead to greater success and satisfaction in both the personal and professional relationships. 맞아요. Beautiful. 말할 때는 유창함보다는 신중함이 더 중요하다. When you speak, careful consideration is more important than fluency. It is not just about the speaking quickly or eloquently, but rather about being intentional and thoughtful in our choice of words and delivery. This requires taking the time to reflect on what you want to say and considering how our words may be received by a listener. Being thoughtful in our speech allows us to communicate more effectively and build stronger relationships. It shows that we value the other person's time and attention, and that we are invested in creating a meaningful dialogue. In contrast, speaking too quickly or without the careful consideration can lead to misunderstandings and miscommunication, and can even damage relationships. It can make others feel unheard or dismissed, and can create an impression of dullness or disrespect. In summary, while fluency in speech can be useful, it is more important to speak thoughtfully and deliberately. This allows us to communicate more effectively, build stronger relationships, and demonstrate our respect for others. 존경하는 사람과 나누는 대화는 내실이 있어야 하고 말하는 사람의 본질이 드러나야 한다. A conversation with someone who A conversation with someone you respect should have a substance, 내실, and should reveal the essence of the person speaking. When you engage in a conversation with someone we hold in high regard, it is important to approach the dialogue with a sense of purpose and intention. We should be curious and attentive, actively listening to what they have to say and asking thoughtful questions. At the same time, the conversation should be meaningful and substantive, exploring topics that are important to both parties and delving into deeper issues rather than simply skimming the surface. More of the conversation should reveal the essence of the person speaking, their values, beliefs, and unique perspective on the world. This requires both parties to be open and vulnerable, willing to share their thoughts and emotions in an authentic and genuine way. When we engage in such conversation with those who admire and respect, we have the opportunity to learn and grow in profound ways. We can gain new insights into the world and ourselves and deepen our understanding of others. Ultimately, this conversation can be transformative, helping us and become better people and creating a sense of shared meaning and purpose. 진정한 대화의 기술은 기술을 부리지 않는 것이다. The true skill of conversation is not perform the skill. The true art of conversation is not appear to be employing any art at all. In other words, skilled combination are able to engage in a dialogue naturally without relying on rehearsed and contribute responses. They are able to adapt to different situations and communicate effectively with a wide range of people without appearing to be putting on a show. This requires a combination of active listening, empathy, and a willingness to be vulnerable and authentic in the conversation. Skilled conversationists are able to put others at ease and create a safe place, safe space for open and honest dialogue. In addition, they are able to navigate difficult or sensitive topics with grace and sensitivity without resorting to defensiveness or aggression. This requires an emotional intelligence and a deep understanding of the power of words and communication. Ultimately, true art conversation lies in the ability to connect with others on a deeper level, foster mutual understanding, and create a sense of shared meaning and purpose. 노련한 사람들은 말을 통해 영혼의 맥을 잡는다. 노련한 사람들은 말을 통해 영혼의 맥을 짚는다. 그래서 현자는 내가 너를 알길 원한다면 나에게 말을 하라 라고 했다. Wise and experienced individuals have the ability to touch the soul through words. That is why sages have said, if you want me to know you, speak to me. Through words, we can express our thoughts, feelings, and perspectives. The way we choose our words and deliver them can reveal a lot about our character, values, and beliefs. And those who have honed their conversational skills can use their words to connect with others on a deeper level and understand them better. By actively listening to what others say and paying attention to their body language and tone, we can gain insights into their thoughts and emotions. Those who have developed the skill of using words effectively can touch the soul and create meaningful relationships with transcend superficial interaction. 대화의 기술을 갖추라. 대화의 기술은 온전한 사람됨을 드러내는 척도이다. 대화는 인간의 모든 삶의 행위 중 가장 일상적인 행위이기 때문에 가장 큰 주의가 요구된다. 또한 이것은 일의 성패를 좌우한다. Develop your conversational skills. The ability to hold a conversation is a measure of one's overall competence as a person. Since conversation is one of the most common activities in human life, it requires the utmost attention. Furthermore, the success or failure of many endeavors hinges on the ability to converse effectively. Developing your conversational skills is crucial for becoming a well-rounded individual. The ability to hold a conversation effectively can serve as a measure of one's overall competence and confidence. Since conversation is an everyday activity that we engage in, it is important to approach it with mindfulness and care. By honing your conversational skill, you can build stronger relationships, develop a better understanding of others, and achieve greater success in both personal and professional endeavor.